These are the high-end clear brow products that blew up all over social media within the last 2 years, and I'm finally battling them out. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This video I've been waiting to film since the end of last year, and that's because one particular brow gel kept selling out every single time there was a VIB sale, and I kept missing it every single time until recently. So now that I have all the clear brow gels that are high-end, let's see which one is the best. These clear brow gels range from $23 to $26. From the least expensive, we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Free Styling Wax for $23. The Refy Brow Sculpt Shape and Hold Gel with Lamination Effect for $24. The Kosas Eyebrow Clear and Clean Lifting Treatment Eyebrow Gel with Lamination Effect for $24. And the last one, Patrick Ta Major Brow Lamination Gel for $26. The Patrick Ta one is the one that kept selling out. This had a lot of hype towards the later half of last year, and I am so excited that I have my hands on it because the brush is so interesting. I'm looking at Sephora.com and it has 4 stars, over 1,000 reviews, so that's pretty positive. So I am really excited. Now I've been testing this out for over a week now, so I do have thoughts. I love the packaging. A lot of us love the packaging for Patrick Ta. It is so beautiful with the rose gold. Him and his team do an amazing job with marketing, but what really got me interested is that this is apparently clear. There is no white residue, but also this brush is really interesting, very unique. I've never seen anything like this, especially for your brows. These are what my brows look naturally. Nothing is in them. I personally like to do my brows after I do my foundation and my powder. I don't know how people do it before because I tend to get specifically powder in my eyebrows, which then ultimately kind of changes the color of my brows and they don't look as dark. So that's kind of how I like to do it. But going in with Patrick Ta, so already you can see that my brow hairs are sticking up quite easily. Like, that was so simple, and I really like the size of this brush. It's not too big. That's always my problem. When they're too big, the product kind of just gets everywhere and it could be kind of messy even though it is clear. And that is one reason why I prefer a clear brush, because if this had pigment, I would kind of just be getting it everywhere, so I don't always love that. And that's the reason why I love a clear brow gel. This is the before and this is the after. See, I do see a difference. It's not like a crazy difference. Now, if you wanted to laminate your brows, you can absolutely do that. I think I've seen him do this thing where he takes the applicator and then he kind of just like presses it down. But I don't love a laminated brow on me. I just like a fluffy brow, which those two things are different. There is a difference. A fluffy brow looks more natural. A laminated brow, well, it looks like it's stuck to your skin. You may like that and you may not like that, and that's completely okay. But I personally prefer something fluffy and just more natural looking. So now I'm gonna go in with another coat, and as you can see, it's a little bit harder to comb through. Like, I could feel it because the product did dry, but sometimes one layer isn't enough. Like me, I have quite fine brow hairs and they're quite sparse, so I need something that's really gonna hold throughout the day. And then as far as how they feel, they don't feel super stiff. Like, I can move my brows and it doesn't feel super crunchy, but they don't necessarily feel super soft like this. See how I'm doing that with this side that doesn't have any product? I can't do that on this side. You could a little bit, but there is another product that's in here that is more stiff. This to me, I think, is more like a happy medium. I'm going to try my best to not make this part of the video biased because this product, the Refy one, is my favorite. Now, not necessarily my favorite out of these, but just kind of like a general statement. Like, this is what I've been using for the last 2 years. This is my second tube. If I bought this again right after I finished my previous one, that means something, because I have a ton of brow gel products that I should be using, but I still got this one anyway, and the packaging is superb. So if you're not familiar, this is what it looks like. If you pull the top off, that's where we have a brush. It's a dual-sided. I don't use this too often. I don't find it very necessary, but if you have bushy brows, I think it would be. Because my brows are so fine, you're not really brushing too much, if that makes any sense. And then if you were to twist, that is where you get the brow gel. Now this one does appear white. The brush is longer, so keep that in mind. So let's go in with our first application. Now with this product, all you need is one coat. But if you have very stubborn brows and you just have more hair than me, you might need 2 coats. But I would be very careful if you were to apply multiple coats, because that's kind of where it starts to get that white residue, because you just keep on applying more and more layers. So for anyone who's experiencing that, that might be the reason. All right guys, look how my brows look. These look up. And I didn't even do the full lamination effect. Like, I didn't even go in with the brush. Now, of course, you absolutely can if you prefer that, but there is definitely a difference. I would say the Patrick Ta one looks a little more natural looking, but the white residue, which is a big one for a lot of us that have dark hair, this might not be the one for you guys. And I know some of you, when I originally reviewed this, that was the reason why you didn't like this product, because of the white residue. So again, maybe this one's not the perfect one for you. And this is what Refy looks like with one coat. I really don't think this side, the one with Refy, needs another layer. It looks really good as is, but again, if you were to apply more layers, you're more likely to have that white residue. So again, just keep those things in mind. Although my makeup is quite minimal today, I am going to fill in my brows because that just makes me feel like me. This is by far my favorite product. Now this is a brow pen. I do want to do a review on brow pens, maybe a drugstore version if you guys want to see that. This is not drugstore, this one is by Urban Decay. This is the Brow Blade in Cool Cookie, which is perfect for me as someone who has lighter brows, but I don't want the brown to be too warm. I couldn't do a black pen because that would have been way too strong for my features, and this is perfect. This is a neutral brown. There's a pen on one side and a pencil on the other. I'm just going to quickly do it. If you want to see a full tutorial on how I create natural looking brows, I'll have that tutorial right here. Brows are looking so good. They look so similar. Can you guys even tell the difference right now? Probably not. So I will see you guys later today for that 8 to 9 hour work test. It has been about 8.5 hours. It's been a super long day. This summer has been so crazy, and I've been going to bed so early this past month, like around 9:30, which is incredibly early. Usually I like to go to bed around like 10:30, 11, but I've been so exhausted every single day, and I'm really excited to get into bed. But let's go back to these products. So right now, they look the exact same. If I didn't tell you which one was Refy and which one was Patrick Ta, I don't think you guys could even tell. It looks the exact same. This battle is a tie, but there are some differences as far as application and what you're looking for. Now, I think you wouldn't want the Refy if you want to avoid the white residue completely, especially when you have a new bottle. My bottle is almost 3 months, so I didn't get as much product on my brows the first go through. Now if it's new, you are gonna get a lot of product, which is why you would want to use the brush and kind of like brush it out a little bit. So for that reason, I would go with the Patrick Ta one, because this one is completely clear. I really like this brush. It's very unique, small, and it doesn't have too much product on it. Now this is only a week old, and as you guys can see, there's not much product on it, so I think that's really great. You wouldn't overdo it with the product unless you put multiple layers. So the Patrick Ta one might become my new favorite, guys. If I continue wearing this the rest of 2022, this might beat my Refy one. I guess that's all I have to say for tonight, but I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Good morning, guys. For the last two to battle out is the Anastasia Brow Freeze on the right eye and the Kosas Eyebrow on the left eye. Now these two are completely different and you're going to be getting different results. So my brows are going to look very different and it's going to be very obvious. But I did want to include specifically the Kosas one because there are people that really like this and I wanted to talk about it a little bit more. Starting with Anastasia Brow Freeze, this one is in a tin, as you guys can see, so that means you do need a separate tool. I have this one from e.l.f. so you don't need that much. This will last you forever. I've taken a break with this one just because there is a substitute for it that is more affordable, and I'll have that video right here if you guys are interested in that. But this one, it works really well. If you like a laminated brow, you're going to really enjoy this one. It instantly just lifts my brows up without even trying. You just do this and then it's all done. Do you see that difference? It's crazy. Now this Anastasia brow freeze, it has more of a shine to it compared to the Refy one, which is more matte, and I believe the Patrick Ta one is matte as well. I find this one to make more sense if you are a professional makeup artist and you have a bunch of different clients, because then it's so easy to use different brushes. Whereas the other ones are more travel friendly, you could just bring it around. It's all encompassing, which is what I prefer. I like something low maintenance. It's already hard enough to brush your brushes on a weekly, daily basis. I'd rather not have an extra brush that I have to clean as frequently, since I do my brows almost every single day. So to me, this isn't the most practical for my lifestyle. Moving on to Kosas. Now this title is really interesting because they say lamination effect, which I do disagree, and I will show you guys why. This is very conditioning. It doesn't leave your brows stiff at all whatsoever. So if you don't even like that feeling of dryness, stiffiness, kind of like a hard brow, you're going to prefer this. Now I'm going to try to match this brow as closely as to the Anastasia one, but you will see how much trouble I'm having. So it takes me quite a few coats, and as you can see, I'm brushing them up, but then look what happens. They kind of go back slightly. They're just not sticking straight up. And what you'll notice during the wear test is most likely these hairs will be completely down. Like this is not going to look the exact same, and I only know that because I bought this when it originally came out. I'm going to let the Kosas side dry a little bit and add another layer just for good measure to give it its best shot. But this is for someone who wants something very nourishing and you don't have stubborn brow hairs. Adding one more layer, and you can see it did dry, which helps, but the hold is not as strong. Especially these front pieces, they just don't want to stay up completely. Before I fill my brows, I just want you guys to see a side by side. Both of these feel very touchable, but the Kosas one is just more conditioning, more nourishing. It really feels quite soft, whereas the Anastasia one, if you were to add more product, it is going to start to feel more stiff. As you guys saw earlier, I didn't apply too much because you really don't need that much unless you have super stubborn eyebrows. I would say pretty stubborn eyebrows just because they are so fine, but again, you are getting different results with these. I'm hoping for the best, so I will see you guys later tonight. I have way more energy today compared to last night. I just feel like I can stay up a little bit longer. I don't know why. I haven't done really anything different. My days are pretty typical and like very much scheduled. But going back to these products, I think they look pretty similar to what they looked like in the beginning. So this morning, I'm very pleased with the Anastasia one. It does a really great job. It's just not my favorite because I have to use a separate brush with it. That's really the main reason. But you don't have to deal with any kind of white residue or anything, and you can keep layering it, and you never have to worry about that. It's more so, do you mind a shiny brow? And the Kosas one, which is the one that has the least amount of hold, it is doing pretty good. For 8 hours, not bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. And I think that's because it did a better job this time than the first time I've tried this. And I think it's because when I did my first coat, I let it dry and settle a little bit and then go in with my second coat versus immediately going in with that second, potentially third coat. It definitely helped. The last thing that I want to say about the Kosas one is if you sweat a lot, this is not going to work. It's just not. It doesn't have that hold power. And we're at the end of this video, and I gotta say, you guys, these products are really good. No matter which one you pick, they're all really good on their own. It really depends on what you're looking for. I think also if you have stubborn brows, if you have really dark brows, that's really going to determine. But I personally, if I only had to choose just one clear eyebrow product that is high end, I think I would choose Patrick Ta. I love this so much, and it has been such a great experience. I believe it's the most expensive out of these 4, and it is well worth it. No wonder it had so much hype last year. This is a really great product. Okay, and then a close second for me is the Refy one. Come on guys, I've been using this for now 2 years. It's phenomenal. This was very much a video that I've been wanting to film for months, so I hope this was helpful. I hope this was enjoyable. If I missed out on your favorite clear eyebrow gel, whether it's high-end or budget friendly, let me know down below. I do want to do a part 2 of this, of a high-end version, but I also want to do a drugstore version as well, but I just don't know if there's that many. I can only think of 2, which is e.l.f. and NYX, and you know me guys, I always like to have a few, so ideally 4, but if that's something that you're interested in, definitely let me know down below. Before you leave, like this video, subscribe to this channel for more fashion and beauty content. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!